back to the shop. Today we're going on a field trip. The poplar that's on the interior and in fact the exterior of the building all came from this property, and we've only milled about a third of what got cut. Right before I made the shop, like 2 years ago, I had a bunch of dead ash trees and I needed to remove the poplars, which were literally right here where I'm sitting. There was two big ones. They were, you know, going on a good fraction of a meter or almost a yard across, more than 2 feet. And so I've only cut about a third of those. That was about, I don't know, between 1,000 and 1,500 board feet. We never really counted. But if I count up all the interior and exterior and what I have left, it's almost 1,500 board feet. So I've got about twice that much still to cut. And I have a Sawyer coming out on Tuesday. This is Saturday the 17th. He's coming out on, I'm sorry, it's not the 17th. It's the 15th, because he's coming out on the 18th. Tuesday the 18th of June 2024. So today we're going to take a field trip. We're actually going to go out in the field. All right. Welcome to the log pile number 1, and if you can see behind me, log pile number 2. This pile is still mostly poplar. I'm not going to get a lot more wood out of this, another couple of hundred board feet maybe. There's some ash, this piece right here, I don't know if you can see that or not, that piece, and there's 2 other ones that are oak. You can see how much of this we can get cut. I got a couple helpers who are going to be here. I got a piece of walnut, I have a piece of maple that looks like it might have some bird's eye figure in it. That would be really cool. So I have a couple of things. Right now what I'm doing is I have a couple of 16-footer poplar logs that are, I don't know, yabbing around. And I'm dragging them up onto near this pile so we can get to them on Tuesday when the Sawyer's here. But I'm using the block and tackle here. I got a 4-1, and I'm using this block and tackle to drag that log up here. And I'm using this little pickup truck as the tow vehicle. It'll almost pull it in idle. I really don't have to do very much. Like I don't have to, I goose the gas maybe a little bit, but not much. So I'll put you down in the yard and let you see what I'm doing to drag this log up here. Well, that worked as good as it could have. hard to do without a spotter when you really can't see the business end down here. All I can see is, you know, the rope coming through the trees. But that's actually close enough because I can get this far end moved up here. Yeah, time to move the second one. Yeah, there's another. I might break for lunch first. So I had a tree branch that was blocking my way to move the truck in a straight line out, so it's going around. Works a bit. So move the tree branch, and then the rope was really too long, so I actually threw a giant sheep shank in it so I could shorten the rope up. But now I ran out of leash on the block and tackle, so I'm having to move that, and I'm going to hook the rope directly to the hook for the block and tackle directly on the chain that's wrapped around the log rather than the end of the chain that's sticking out. That'll give me a little more loft, and I should be able to get up over that other log. See how we do here. I'm pointing to things you can't see. Let's see whether this works. Well, that worked better than it had any right to. Alright, get the other one hitched up here. Okay, so I did drag that other log a little bit further up. Now I got the second one. You see it's right behind that the blue case right there. And I'm going to pull it, I think, just kind of drag it by hand. Drag it so it's a little more in line. So I'm going to drag this bottom end up here and try and then drag it straight out with the truck again. But that means I need to moose that end up a little bit by hand. The timber jack that I have has an optional leg on it. You might have seen me kind of winch things up with it. It's great for jacking things up in order to be able to cut them with a chainsaw. So you can take a log that's really long and you want to get it off the ground and kind of jack it up in the air and cut a bunch of pieces off of it. But that's removable, so you take that off and then it's just kind of a log rolling device. I've heard them called various things. I bought it as a timber jack. That was the name. From that one particular one was from Tractor Supply. You can get them a lot of different places, and that's got a big heavy wooden handle on it. I like it, it's good. So let's go see if we can get this moved. So I'm just trying to constrain one end so that when I roll the other end, it pivots rather than just rolling out away from where I am. You sure you can see all that? Yeah, pretty much. All right, I'm about 2 feet short. I can't pull the truck any closer because that 16-foot log that I moved, yeah, the truck bumper's right up against it because it's sticking out on the far end a little bit. So that's as close as I can get the truck. So I'm gonna have to put something in between the chain that's around the log and this end of the blocking chain. Ran out of woods. Couldn't drive the truck any further. All right, let's take out that piece of rope, shorten up the chain, and do it again. So I wasn't sure that that hook was going to hold in that chain because it doesn't hardly go in there at all, but got lucky, worked good. All right, so my next trick is I gotta try and pick that log up. This rope that's on my truck, I'm using this end. This is a 100-foot piece of 3/4, and so I've got an eye splice in here, and I tied a bowline. I don't trust this bumper very much, but I'm tied around the frame. So I need to shorten this up to do that next pull, and I'm just going to tie a bowline on a bite in here. Unfortunately, I can't hold the phone and tie a knot at the same time, so you'll have to trust me. That's what I'm doing. So instead of tying it with a loose end, you just put a loop through there and tie it with the loop. So that's a bowline. The nice thing about bowline, which is what that is as well, they'll come apart regardless of how hard you pull them. So now I've got the rope shortened. I don't have to drive the truck all the way into the woods. All right, that's about enough prep for me. That'll kind of run out. You can do this stuff yourself. It's easier with about 4 people, and I think it'll be a hell of a lot easier with a horse, actually. Truck works great, but easier to back up and rehitch a horse. Maybe if I had somebody else to do it, of course. I don't want to do it by myself, but the block and tackle I bought off of like Facebook Marketplace, and the rope just came from Amazon. So you might have seen that one big oak log. It's now behind the camera, rolled down the hill. I'll get that on Tuesday when I have more people here and it's easier to roll. But we got plenty to do right here, and I'm pretty happy. So this gets a lot of this will be. I have like a cut list in my head. I need to write some stuff down and make sure that I'm getting what I want. Like I said, of the 16 footers I just did, we'll probably just get whatever it squares off to, like the 6x6 probably. But I'll get a 16-foot 6x6 out of that, which will be really great. Might run it down to just a 4x4. I don't really need more than that. And yeah, so this is going to be good. Check out the next video with the Sawyer. And there's a playlist I'll link in the description on building the wood shop. Check that out. I appreciate it. Gotten some good traction recently with the oak plaque backing that I did. It was all done by hand except for like rough cutting with table saw. Everything else was all finished by hand planes and cabinet scrapers. So check that out. It's an hour long and there's a lot of great tips in it. Appreciate everybody watching, and hang on for the next one. We'll actually get some logs cut here. Thanks.